right, let's begin sitting on a block today. And I'd like you to have your other block nearby and also a blanket, like a rolled up blanket. So have that ready and your strap. Just have all of this ready. Virasana is hero's pose. Our toes will point back. Our kneecaps line up with the frontal hip bones. And then we hug the outer ankles in towards the block. And then just let your hands rest on your thighs for a moment. Let your shoulders relax and just let your pelvis move in neutral. Notice if you're tipping forward through the belly or if you're collapsing through the lumbar. And allow the lumbar to be supported by the belly and allow the belly to move in through the core. Good. And then we start with just a few shoulder rolls. Let's breathe in and move the shoulder heads forward and up. Breathe out, roll the shoulders back and down. Two more. Forward and up as we breathe in. Back and down as we breathe out. One more time. Forward and up. Back and down. Reverse that. Go back and up as you breathe in. Forward and down as you breathe out. And do that a couple more times. You're getting used to moving with the breath now. And the last one is simply a shrugging up, and we hold it and maybe squeeze the face and hold the breath. And then there's some sound and open mouth as we drop. Ha. Back of the right hand to the small of the back, right shoulder head back, collarbones stay wide. And let's lean for a moment, left ear, left shoulder. And just feel into, do I need to take my chin in a little bit? Do I need to keep my chin moving a bit so that you're really massaging the levator scapular muscle? Take another breath. Exhale out. And then lift your head back up, release the right hand. Take the back of the left hand against the small of the back. Roll the left shoulder, head back. Start to lean, right ear, right shoulder. Take the chin in a little bit. Move the chin a little up and down if that feels right. Take another breath in. Stay right here as you breathe out. And then lift your head, release the hand. We're now sliding our thumbs to our inner knees and we'll go into cat spine, so rounded spine. And it's really effective to press your thumbs against your inner knees to stretch the rhomboid muscles between your spine and shoulder blades. So chin to chest, tail forward, low belly in. Then let's move in the opposite direction and drag the hands to the groins as you move your tail back, your heart space upward, shoulder heads back, look up. Stay for an extra moment and really feel the opening. And then with the breath, let's exhale out, round, push the back of the heart back. Inhale, take the hands close to the groins, maybe your elbows bend as you arch. Exhale, round, push the thumbs against the knees. Inhale, arch. We're lubricating the spine. We're preventing the spine from fusing, from getting stiff, which is what tends to happen as we get older. Stay with it for a moment. And then come to center. Let's take it into the shoulders. Take your strap, my dears. If there's a loop in it, take it out. Right now, you want your strap on your lap. Slide your hands wide on your strap and keep it taut. Arms stay straight and the strap is taut. Inhale, go up and move down. Exhale, behind you. Inhale, up, behind you. Exhale, down in front of you. Walk the hands in a little closer if you can. Pull on the strap and go straight up. Move your arm bones down behind you as you breathe out. Straight up again, breathe in. And down in front of you, breathe out. Last one, your hands may come a little closer. unless you've already found your edge. Pull, go up, breathe in. Down behind you, breathe out. Good. And last one, we go back up. And down in front of us. Good. One more outer shoulder stretch, which also takes you into your intercostal muscles. Let's take the right arm up with your palm facing the left. Bend your elbow, and then just use your left hand against the outer right elbow. And as you draw the elbow a little more behind you, feel how the right hand goes a little lower between your shoulder blades. Check that your pelvis is neutral and your ribs are not protruding out. And then all I want you to do is slide your left hand from elbow to wrist. Catch your wrist. And then lean to the left with your head and elbow. So you're pushing the right ribs out to the right a little bit. Yeah, you're just catching your wrist with your left hand and you're gently pulling on it a little. Good, that's enough. Let's change it up. The left hand or left bicep to your ear, your left elbow pointing up. The right hand goes to the outer left elbow. And the first thing is just nudging the elbow behind the head while your spine is upright. And then you can slide your hand down to catch your wrist. Lean a little to the right. A little bit of a C shape in your spine right now. Good. And back to center. And release. Good. Let's go into the hamstrings, my dear. Slide your right hand under your ankle and step your right foot forward. And then use your strap or make a basket with your fingers. We're leaning into our sit bones, which are still on the block. Lift your right foot. Now we're going to start with our spine rounded. So we lift the leg holding the strap or foot, but I want you to round your spine for a moment and push into the back of the heart one more time. And then we begin to float the sternum upward and roll the shoulders out of your ears. And now begin to straighten the right leg. Move your right hip down, spread your toes. There's a buoyancy through the heart, the crown, the face. I have a sliver of sunlight coming through between my window and the mountain there. Take a full breath in. And exhale, bend your knee. Now let's go into external rotation. We move our right foot to the left. So your left hand is holding your right foot right now. Your right hand is cradling your right knee. It's almost like a thread the needle or single pigeon. A little bit in and out of the center line. Move the leg. And then we'll go into Ardha Padma, which is half lotus. And I'll give you an option if it doesn't work. Can you bring the top of the right foot into your left groin and then take your block right away and support your right knee with a block? If this Ardha Padma doesn't work for you, you're just going to plant your right foot on the ground and take your twist that way. So if you're twisting with your right foot on the ground, you can hook across with your left elbow. And I told you to bring a little folded blanket in. So that may be just under your or maybe you can use your other block actually. So twist one is just right foot down. Twist two, you have your foot in the opposite groin with a block under the knee and a blanket behind your or under your right hand. So pick one twist, stay in it for 3 breaths. If you have your Ardha Padma, you have the back of the left hand against your knee with your palm facing outward. If you're in a Marichyasana twist, you have your elbow to the outside of the knee. Take one more breath in and out. Look forward before you unwind your spine. Then come out of your twist. Good. Let's guide this right foot out of Ardha Padma and bring it back to Virasana and slip the left foot forward. Use your strap or your fingers. Lean into the block so your foot comes off the ground. And then extend your leg, but only a little bit. Push the back of the heart back. Get into your rhomboids one more time. And then when you're ready, extend your leg as much as you can and roll the shoulders down the back and really move your shoulder blades in as you drive your left hip down. A couple more breaths. In and out, we breathe. The jaw relaxed, the face soft. One more. Exhale. Good. Bend your knee. Let's do our external rotation for a moment. Hold your foot with one hand, hold your knee with the other hand. Go a little in and out just to start opening this left hip. And then you can choose, if this works for your knee, to bring the top of the foot into the right groin with your left knee supported by a medium-sized block or higher. Or you plant your left foot, hook the right elbow across and find your twist. If you're in Ardha Padma, you would place the back of your right wrist against your knee with your palm facing out, and there's probably something under your left hand. We're pulling the spine long, and then we rotate around the axis of the spine. One more breath in and out. Now look forward, breathe in. Then breathe out, unwind your spine. This will take us into Malasana. We guide the left foot. Keep the left foot forward, step the right foot forward, turn your toes out. Your feet are a little wider than your hips. Perhaps slip the sit bones to the front of the blocks, so it's just your buttock flesh on the blocks, and take your hands in prayer position at your heart. Take a few moments. You want to relax your jaw and keep the neck spacious. Breathe in and breathe out. Your fingers interlace. Let's go forward and up. And this is for some of us not so easy to keep the spine long and frame the ears with the arms. And then we practice a hover. It's like a version of chair pose, but you're still in a squat position with your feet. Hover your buttocks off the block, maybe even a foot off the block. And then push the feet down to rise up. Once you're up, turn your toes in. And then release your interlace and pretend you're holding a block between your hands. Draw the front ribs in and anchor the tailbone down. This is called Urdhva Hastasana. And then lower the arms down. Let's take off whatever's on the mat. You can bring your blocks forward. And then we stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Really, it's Samastitihi with your hands in prayer. Look forward, roll your shoulders back. Press the four corners of the feet evenly and relax your toes. Kneecaps, quadricep muscles are lifting. Low belly comes in. And then let your eyes softly close and take a moment to tune into your heart energy and what your body is telling you that you need today on the mat. What do you need to focus on? This sankalpa, this intention, is a powerful tool so that we're reminded not to check out and just do physical movements, but to really be interested in what the body has to say and to use this time on the mat, perhaps even as a way to manifest something that you'd like to bring into your life. Or maybe it's a tool for you to shed something. Now open your eyes, and with your exhale, release your arms down, the palms face forward. And then inhale, we circle out and up as we're reaching up into the heavens. And then we're surrendering to earth as we fold. Lift the heart space up, breathe in. Palms are flat, we step right into plank pose position. Hold here for 3. Arms straight, heels kick back, thigh bones up, low belly in. One more. Bend your knees, lift through the tail, bring your ribs close to the thighs, and then straighten the legs. Do you need to turn your hands out a little bit? Do you need to take your feet wider for your first downward dog? I'm going to be here for about 5 cycles of breath. We're letting the head hang, but your eyes are open. Your arms are straight. The tops of the thighs are pushing back. The heels are reaching down. And the weight is really not in the wrists, although there is some weight there, but it's also in the bases of your fingers, especially index and thumb. Oh. You're welcome to take a mouth exhalation. And then from here, look forward. Let's raise our heels up and step our right foot to the right thumb. Come onto your fingertips and practice your high lunge for a moment. Knee over ankle, shin perpendicular. Pull the feet, send your chest forward, and roll the shoulders out of the ears. Then we plant the left palm and add a twist. Right arm goes up while you're still hugging the right hip in. And there's a root and rebound. The bottom palm pushes, the top arm reaches. The root of your left thigh bone is just straight up. Breathe in one more time. Breathe out, right fingertips down. You're on all 10 fingertips, bending the back knee to step forward. Your chest is lifting, your toes is spreading. Exhale, forward fold, push the mat forward, draw the elbows in. And then on the inhale, make your way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Good again. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. The heart space lifts, you're filling your lungs. And then we step right back to plank pose position. This time in plank, we shift forward and make our way to earth. Knees or not, that's a personal choice. Low cobra to start, to the floor, and then flying cobra without your hands. This is just one way to really turn on the back muscles, draw the low belly in. Then we set our hands forward and maybe towards the front corners of your mat with your hands turned out. Check that they're not next to the ribs, even slightly forward of your shoulders. Take the feet wider. Let's do fingertips today. Inhale, press the fingertips, come into seal. Draw the elbows in. Exhale, draw the elbows out as you lower the rib cage. 2 more. Push the fingertips, elbows in. Your pubic bone is on the mat right now. Exhale, lower. 1 more. This is actually very strengthening for our hands, as well as we stretch the abdominal wall, the digestive system. The next time you come down, we reposition the hands. The feet go back to hips distance. Let's look straight down. Keep the shoulder heads lifted and press all 4s. Round your spine like a cat, please. Let's come into a counter pose. Hold it. Shift your hips behind your knees an extra inch. Then come into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Open mouth. See if you can lift your sit bones just a little more and roll your inner thighs back and keep your eyes open as you drop the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Now lift your heels. We're stepping our left foot forward. You're on your fingertips without being on a tightrope, practicing your lunge. The knee into your arm, the shin perpendicular, the right thigh bone straight, and you can pull the feet in. Keep your spine very long as you breathe in. Exhale, lean into the right palm and add your twist. Most of us will flare this left hip out too far, so hug it in. Keep the left thigh bone parallel to the ground. Pull your arms apart. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Fingertips. Put a bend in your back knee. Step it up. Chest forward. Inhale. Forward fold. Stay. Line up your fingertips with your toes. Your palms may go flat to the earth or on blocks. And as we rock the hips forward, we try connecting the ribs to the thighs. It's okay to bend your knees a bit. Shake your head out. Make sure you're not holding tension there. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Rise up halfway. Now arms out to the sides. And inhale, we rise all the way. And as you pull the hands to the heart, there's a growing through the top of the head. Good. Arms down. Inhale, press the feet, circle the arms out, and exhale, we forward fold again. Lift your heart space up. Now this time, stay on your fingertips, put a little bend in your knees. Squeeze your right heel to your buttock. This looks like a flamingo. Your arms are straight, your heart goes forward. Then we straighten the right leg, pause, turn your leg out and hug your left hip under, step it back. And now if you look at your feet, you're in a warrior one position. So the back leg is a bit turned out with your heel down. Take your hands to your hips, straighten the front leg, and go even deeper into internal rotation in your back leg. Draw the belly in, raise your arms, inhale, and now drop it down into warrior one. The feeling is of your back hip rolling forward a little, the low belly coming in. Your arms very straight, the palms facing inward. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Good. Go forward like tracks, palms down, step back, plank pose. Chest forward. You can lower halfway or all the way. You can move into your first upward dog and feel into it a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll find our downward facing dog. Take an inhale through the nose and just let this one float out through parted lips. Good. Heels high. This is an opportunity to practice your jump, step, or jump to the front. Lift your heart, breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Rise onto the fingertips, bend both knees, squeeze your left heel to your buttock with your arms still straight, with your chest moving forward. Straighten your left leg, turn it out, step it back, and line it up for warrior one. And that doesn't have to mean that you're on a tight rope. But take a moment with your back leg straight, and then take your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg as you come up. Is your back leg internally rotated? Can you take your back hip forward, your low belly in, and then raise your arms? Take an inhale, and now drop it into warrior one. Eventually, this right thigh bone is parallel to the ground, but it's nothing you need to fuss over. Want you rather to work on pulling the thigh bone in and straightening the back leg. 2 breaths here, digging the front heel down. 1 more. Good, like tracks, go forward, pick up the back heel. Let's weave in a little flow. We lower and we arch. This could be a cobra. Make your way into downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. This time, stick out your tongue. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. We'll go right back into warrior one, but we take it from down dog this time. Step your feet together, lift your right leg, roll your hip open and flex your ankle. Press both palms and breathe. Then you can bend your top knee. Good. Now let's square off the pelvis and pull the knee to the ribs and stack the shoulders over the wrists. And then step your right foot up. Now spin the back heel again. Make any adjustment you need to make. Knee over ankle. Keep your front knee bent. Come right up into warrior one. Take your right arm out to the side. Turn your right thumb down. Bend both elbows. We did our warm up earlier. Now you may be able to hold your shirt or hook your fingers. Gomukhasana arms, left elbow up, right shoulder head back. We also practiced that earlier with the shoulder head back. Now pick up your back heel, step your back foot in a little bit, shift the weight into the front foot, and find warrior three. Your left elbow will point forward. Your torso and left leg are on one plane. Right hip engaged. One more. Good. Now land your left leg straight down. Push your front leg to straight. Breathe in here. Can you keep this arm variation and fold forward over your front leg? Gomukhasana arms. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Again, in and out. One more time, in and out. Please let your hands come down. Bend your front knee, picking up your back foot. We take it to the right into a seated twist. Lower your hips. Decide if you need to sit on a block or blanket. Hold your shin for a moment. Lift your chest up. Right hand behind you, and we're just hugging the knee in with our forearm. So you're wrapping your elbow around your knee, and the left palm is facing your chest. The collarbones are wide. The top of the head is lifting. We turn the chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, in and out. Beautiful. Look forward, breathe in. Unwind your spine. Very nice. The front foot will stay. We lean into the hands. We step the back foot back and then the front foot back. Let's go right into our downward dog. Let's practice one more lion's breath. Simhasana, inhale. Stick out your tongue. Good. Let's try our feet together. Left leg lifts. Roll your hip open. Flex your ankle. Arms are straight. Ribs stay in. Right hip crease is pulling back. Eyes are still open. Bend your knee. Square the pelvis. Now we pull the knee into the chest in plank pose position. So a cat spine. Step the foot up. Turn the back heel and maybe widen your stance a little bit. Good. Make your way right up into first warrior. Left elbow or left arm straight out, left thumb down, bend your elbows. Clasp your hands or hold your shirt behind you. This feels familiar. Right elbow up, left shoulder head back. Bend your front knee. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Pick up your back heel, step your back foot forward a little bit. Transfer the weight into the front foot. Warrior three, pick up your back leg. You're lifting it from the inseam. Your chest is not lower than your hips. Your right elbow points straight forward. One more breath. Now touch your right foot down. Push your front leg to straight. You may have to walk your foot over. Take a breath here. Now we're adding a forward fold with Gomukhasana arms. If you need to modify, you let your hands come down. Just a couple more breaths here. It's intentional to come into poses that feel a little confronting, and then we observe whether we can stay calm and stay with the fluidity of the breath, or whether we get caught up in the drama. Let's please let the hands come down. Walk them forward a bit. Bend your front knee. Our back foot is going to go to the left side. Knee down. Sit down. This is your Marichyasana twist. So you've got your left hip dropping. You can hold your shin. And then left hand goes behind you and we wrap around. Lift the top of the head and turn the rib cage open. Fingers are together here and the palm is facing your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. In and out. Good. Look forward. Lean into the front foot. Have your hands in front of you. Push. Step it back. Right foot. Step it back. Left foot. Downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Good. So one more warrior one variation. It's a bit of a theme here today, the warrior one. Lift your right leg from the inseam of your leg. Breathe in. Pull the knee to the chest, step it through. Turn the back heel, but again, make sure you're on a wider stance. Now, float your arms forward so your torso arms are at a diagonal with your back leg, one straight line. And then right hand to thigh. Your lower body will stay the same, but we add a twist. And this could be a bit much for the low back, in which case you can pick up your back heel. Otherwise, this is Pavrita Parshva Konasana. Right hip pulling in. Maybe left hand down, right arm up, and top arm over ear. Listen to the low back. Keep breathing in and out. Hands go down. Let's pause. Pick up your back heel. Lower your back knee. Now we go into the back quad, and we'll do it today with same side hand and foot. First, I want you to lunge your hips a bit. Then we take the right forearm onto the right thigh with your palm facing forward and your thumb and index touching. And then make sure your back knee is sufficiently padded. Pick up your foot. You can simply pull the heel in mindfully. You can also play with pointing elbow up and fingertips forward. Your right elbow is pushing into the thigh so the belly can stay lifted. Breathe in. Out. And again, in. Out. One more. And then release the back foot onto the hand. Step your front foot back. Child's pose. You can take your hands all the way back to your ankles, or you can stack your hands to make a pillow. Take a moment here, in and out through the nose. Good. One more deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Good. Have your fingertips next to your knees and just lift on up. Sit on your heels for a moment. Let your hands rest on your thighs in Vajrasana while I close the window because of the leaf blowers. I'd like you to just take a moment with your eyes closed. And then from here, we go to side 2 into Pavrita Parshva Konasana. Let's set up from downward dog. Really get into the full pose. Let's get into the habit of not rushing and landing. And then we go up from the inseam of the left leg. Take a breath in. Pull the knee in, step the foot through, turn the back heel, but make your stance a little wider. Have your front shin perpendicular. When you're ready, we float the torso and arms up at a diagonal. Even your ears and arms are lined up. Then left hand to thigh, and we cut across. Now, I rely on you listening to your lower back. If this is too deep for you, you're picking up your back heel. Palms are pressing at your heart. Your front knee is moving into your arm here. And if your heel is still on the mat, straighten that leg. Option to open the arms. This takes you even deeper. Maybe the top arm over the ear. Take a breath in and out. Lower the left hand. You've got your fingertips under your shoulders, back heel lifts, and we lower the back knee. You can untuck the back toes. First, we want to lunge the hips forward. Maybe you need to bring in some padding. Then it's your left forearm onto the thigh with your fingers forward, thumb and index touch. And then we reach back, right hand, pick up the foot. And any amount, bring the heel in. While you press your elbow into the thigh and draw the belly in. Maybe elbow points back and fingers point forward. Notice if you're dealing with resistance. Last one. Release. Hands down. Step your front foot back. Same transition, except knees as wide as the edges of the mat. Big toes touch. And then optional, stack the palms or reach your arms forward, palms face up. And you're melting the chest down and landing the forehead. It's a bit of a shoulder opener, a bit of a thoracic opener, while you're also just sinking the hips back. Take a moment here. Good. One more breath in. Open mouth. Good. And then I've got one more warrior one variation for us to explore today. But I want to weave in a vinyasa first. Downward facing dog. Shift forward, breathe in, lower halfway or all the way. Find your upward dog or your cobra. And then bring it up and back, downward dog. So this warrior one takes us from warrior one into eagle arms into Garuda, which is eagle, full pose. Lift your right leg up, breathe in. Pull the knee to the chest, step forward, turn the back heel, and come right up into the full pose, Virabhadrasana. One. Arms forward. Your left elbow will go under the right. Lift your forearms and either hook your thumb or bring your palms together. Have your elbows the height of your shoulders. Melt the shoulder blades down the back. Sink into the pose a little bit more. Then pick up your back heel, step it forward like you did before, except this time, pick up your left leg, bring it forward, cross it over your right knee. Maybe double wrap your left foot around your right ankle. Then we can drop the hips a little and keep the torso upright. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lean forward with your torso. This is a variation of the pose. Maybe fold until one of your fingers touches a block or the floor. Slowly upright your torso. Then we unhook, straighten the right leg, bring the left knee in. Arms go up, and maybe you can straighten the left leg for a breath. And then lower the foot. Take your hands all the way to your hips, point your elbows back and lift your chest. Breathe in, because here's your counter pose. Breathe out. Hook your big toes, elbows out to the sides. Breathe in and forward fold. Draw the top of the head down, elbows out to the sides. Upper spine moves in.
The weight shifts forward toward the balls of the feet. Let the head go. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. From here, we elongate as you breathe in, and we step back. Now you have a choice. You can step to dog and skip the vinyasa. You can step to plank and weave it in. This depends on how much strength you're building today. From your down dog, left leg lifts. Last warrior one variation. Pull the knee forward, step it through, spin the back heel. Into Virabhadrasana 1. Arms go up. Now arms go forward, right elbow under left. Lift your forearms like Garudasana. You can hook your thumb, you can bring your palms together. Are your shoulders rolling back and down? Sink a little deeper into the pose. Then you're picking up your back heel. Step your back foot closer, all the weight in the front foot. Now draw the right knee towards the chest, right knee over left, maybe double wrap. Breathe in. Drop the hips, breathe out. Inhale here. Variation, lean forward. You can hold it here, or you can fold all the way. Maybe one of your fingers touches the mat. Then we lift the torso. We come upright and straighten the left leg, unhook the foot, right knee to chest, arm straight up, and then straighten your leg, hold it. Lower it. Good. Take your hands to your hips, point your elbows in, lift your chest up, and go right into the forward fold. And this time, I just want to hold our elbows and hang for a moment. Let the head go. Good. Couple more. Just hanging for a moment. Good. Slide your hands to your hips. We're rising back up. And then we'll take our mats to the wall. We'll strap our arms today and practice handstands. Handstands are not part of your practice today for your own personal reasons, injury, or being on your cycle. Lay down, bring your legs up the wall. Or if it's a wrist issue, you can do a forearm balance. But take a moment, make yourself a loop that's just measuring shoulder head to shoulder head. Not wider, because then you lose it. So just shoulder head to shoulder head. Keeps it just above your elbows with your buckle not on your flesh. And then let's set up for a handstand. So we place our hands 5 inches away from the wall. Fingers spread, tuck your toes, find your down dog. And then make it pretty short. Step 1 foot in, shift your shoulders over the wrist, reach your opposite leg up, bend your standing knee, look between your hands, and kick. You can let your head drop for a moment, reach your heels up and internally rotate your legs. You can also look between the hands and move your legs away from the wall one at a time. And then maybe you're balancing with both feet away from the wall. Hold it and breathe. And whenever it's time for you to come down, come on down. Let your head go. Counter pose number 1. Counter pose number 2. Find a squat and press the backs of the hands together. And the higher you lift your wrist, the more are we stretching the wrists. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then one more handstand. And I'm going to encourage you to kick up with your other leg just to even things out. Your strap was a good
size, slip it back on. If you need to adjust it, adjust it. Set yourself up one more time. Consider reaching the opposite leg up. Bend your standing knee and kick. You can let your head drop at first, straighten your arms, find the bases of your fingers and finger pads, internally rotate, and then maybe look between your hands and take your feet away from the wall. Breathe here. Hold it for as long as you like, but definitely come down when you feel like you're losing strength. Stand on your hands, please. Take your hands under your feet. Lift the chest up so the palms are facing up in Padahastasana. And then forward fold. Shake your head out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. And when you're ready, take your hands out from underneath. Let's just move our mats back, my dears. And we'll go into just a couple of back bends before we close out with another hip opener. Come onto your back body. Place a block between your thighs. Take any hair ties out that may be behind your head or in your neck area. Your arms are alongside your body, and you're perhaps able to make a V sign, a peace sign, and have your fingers around your heels and draw the shoulder blades closer. So we have a lot of heat in our shoulders and upper body from this inversion. Let's take advantage of it. Begin to curl your tail forward and up, lift your hips, draw the tops of the shoulders under, lift your chest, draw the tail forward and interlace if you can, or hold the edges of your mat. 3 breaths here. The block teaches us not to let the thighs splay open. The facial muscles are soft. Breathing in again. Breathing out. One more. Slide your hands apart. Slide your shoulder blades apart. Ground through the back of the heart as you lower back down. Take your block out for a moment. Let your knees drop in. Take your hands to your belly. Turn your heels out. Roll the head left and right. If you have wrist or shoulder injuries, or your shoulders are just really tight and a deeper back bend is not part of the plan today, you repeat your bridge, maybe with a leg lift. If you're up for Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can try it with your hands in line with your ears, but shoulders distance. Your elbows are just over your wrists and your feet hips distance. Breathe in. Breathe out, draw the navel in. Now lift your hips, come onto the crown of the head. When you're ready, perhaps push your arm bones to straight. Let your head go. Turn the inner thighs down. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. In and out. Tucking the chin. Lower down. Please take your knees to your chest. There's another opportunity to do your backs of the hands together. You can also take the backs of the hands against your ribs. If you were in upward bow, that may feel nice for the wrist. Eventually, we want to rock and roll a little bit side by side. And then we'll use our strap for this next twist and have a block on either side of our body, maybe a foot away, 2 feet away from your hips. We'll take the strap into our hands and around the right foot. We'll straighten the bottom leg. Pull down on your strap. We've done quite a bit of hamstring opening, so it's not really why we're here, but we're using this for a twist. First thing I want you to do is bend your left knee, shoot your hips 2 inches to the right, re-straighten your left leg. Both ends of the strap, left hand, and come all the way across.
There's a block for your leg to rest on. And then your right arm reaches to the right. Your right leg is to the left, your right arm to the right, and we take a twist. Pretend you're standing on the floor with your left foot. So flex your ankle. Keep your legs straight, both legs. You can also hold the edge of your foot if you don't want to hold the strap. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right shoulder blade is just softening down. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's give it one more and muscularly draw this top hip out of the side waist. And then we go all the way back up. And you can adjust your hips back to the center, move your left foot into the strap, set your right foot down. Take a moment to draw the left leg in, right leg straight. Then bend your right knee, move your hips over to the left a little, re-straighten the right leg. There's a block on the right side, 2 feet away from your hip. Both ends of the strap, right hand, and go right into your twist. Remember, the twist is also a transitional pose after the back bend, which is why we're here right now. Release your left shoulder blade down. So you're reaching through your left arm while your left leg is all the way on the right on a block. And then I want you to dissolve any tension around your face and your jaw. And we'll take a few breaths here. And just allow the spinal twist to unwind the spine. Muscularly, you may notice how this top hip wants to hike up. You can use your own muscles to draw this hip out of the side waist. Beautiful. And then take your leg all the way back up. Good. Bend your right knee to realign your hips. Set your strap aside. Give yourself another hug. We're going to come up and go into a forward fold now. And I want you to choose either Sukhasana or Gomukhasana. Sukhasana is crossing the middle of your shins with your ankles flexed. Gomukhasana is stacking your knees with your feet out to the side. Either way, we'll have 1 or 2 blocks in front of us. And we're not doing any arm variations anymore. We're just going into a calming, quieting forward fold. So do let your head rest. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw unhinge. And take a few moments here, in and out through the nose. Preparing our body for Shavasana right now. And yes, we have a bit of a gluteus maximus or medius stretch, but we're primarily quieting the nervous system down. Your hands behind you. Before we switch sides, set your feet wide with your toes turned out and do a little windshield wiper. Move your knees over to one side and the other side. And then side 2. You're either crossing your shins with your other shin in the front or you're stacking your knees. Feet out to the sides, ankles flexed. And we go forward and down, letting the head rest, letting the arms relax. And we're breathing in and out through the nose. Ah. One more breath in. Part your lips. Lift your head. Take the hands behind you and straighten out your legs and maybe pedal through your legs. And then I recommend a bolster or a rolled up blanket for Shavasana. Just have that there. You still have time for your final finishing pose in terms of happy baby or another spinal twist. You may not need it, but definitely Apanasana. Choose what pose you need in order to rest. And then your final pose is just knees to chest, but they're apart. So are your feet, your hands are somewhere on your shins with your elbows and triceps on the floor. Draw your shoulder blades closer, relax your jaw. Breathe in. And breathe out. And when you're ready, we'll move into Shavasana. Something under your knees is always nice. You can choose a neck pillow, an eye pillow. Eyes are closed. Jaw relaxed. The feet and arms are doing the same thing right now. And fingers naturally curled. And this is a time where we no longer apply any breath control. So let your body be heavy. Your jaw relaxed. I want you to feel the body weight dropping down. The attention inside your body. We're not processing what's happening around us, but we're deeply interested and curious in our internal world. Remember that the practice of yoga, and that includes meditation, is to meet ourselves, to get to know ourselves. Now give yourself permission to drop even deeper. There's always some little muscle that tends to tighten up. Let your contact with earth get a little more pronounced, a little more emphasized. And then we begin the process of waking up. We start with the breath. And then we move the fingers and toes. And then we can rebend our knees and take the right arm up by your ear and roll off to the right side. And as you use your left hand to press up, bring yourself into a comfortable seat. Let your hands come to your heart. Lower your chin.
Maybe lift the corners of your mouth as an expression of an inner smile. Know that the practice changes us. It takes us on a journey, a transformation. We're not the same as we were an hour and 15 minutes ago. Our nervous system is much more quiet. Our body is really singing a symphony right now from all the movements. And then hands in prayer. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we know the beauty of our own true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing in this world. Namaste.